Here's something that sounds completely backwards. The most profitable gyms in the world don't actually want you to show up. You're the paying customer. And yet, the business makes more money the more you stay home. That one sentence explains almost everything strange about gyms. Why memberships are so cheap, why January is chaos, and why gyms that look packed every single evening still quietly shut down within a couple of years. By the end of this video, you'll never look at a gym membership the same way again. Let's get into it. Meet Kevin. 32 years old. Been going to the same gym for years, and every evening it's slammed. People waiting for machines, trainers running between clients. He watches the owner walk around like he owns a small empire, and Kevin thinks, this guy must be printing money. So he starts dreaming. I'll open my own gym. People always want to get fit. New Year's resolutions alone will keep me in business. Rows of members. Monthly payments on autopilot. Barely any real work once it's set up. That's the fantasy almost every new gym owner starts with. Here's the problem. A gym isn't really a fitness business. It's a numbers business wearing gym clothes. And if Kevin doesn't understand the numbers underneath it, he can open a gym that's packed every single night and still lose money every single month. Here's exactly how. The membership trap. Kevin does the simple math first. Charge $1,500 a month. Sign up 500 members. That's $750,000 a month. Easy. Here's what he's missing. A gym membership isn't really selling access to equipment. It's selling a promise, one that most people won't actually keep. This is the secret the entire industry is built on. It's called breakage, the gap between how many people pay every month and how many people actually walk in. Across the fitness industry, the pattern repeats everywhere. Only around 15 to 20% of members show up regularly. The rest keep paying and rarely appear. Sounds bad for the member, but it's exactly what keeps the gym alive. Think about it. A gym has a fixed number of treadmills, a fixed number of squat racks. If every paying member actually showed up at 6 p.m., the gym would need to be 5 times bigger just to fit everyone. So the whole business is quietly built around the assumption that most people won't come. That's not a flaw. That is the model. But here's where it turns dangerous for Kevin, because this cuts both ways. Every month, a slice of his members quietly cancel. It's called churn, and in this industry, it's brutal. Gyms commonly lose 4 to 6% of their members every single month. Not because people hate the gym. Life gets busy. Motivation fades. People move cities. Run the math. 500 members losing just 5% a month with nobody new coming in. By month 12, Kevin's lost more than half his gym. Quietly, while the evening crowd still looks decent enough that he doesn't even notice until the bank balance tells him, which means Kevin isn't really running a gym. He's running a permanent recruitment machine, constantly replacing the members sliding out the back door. Stop marketing for even a couple of months, and revenue doesn't stay flat. It starts bleeding, even while the gym still looks reasonably busy every night. This is exactly why January isn't just a good month for gyms. It's survival. That flood of resolution signups is what quietly funds the members Kevin is about to lose in March, April, and May. So memberships aren't steady income. They're a leaky bucket that has to be refilled constantly. And that single fact shapes almost every other decision in this business. But memberships are just the foundation. The real profit, the number that actually decides whether Kevin's gym thrives or barely survives, comes from somewhere else entirely, where the real money hides. Here's what separates a struggling gym from a genuinely profitable one. The membership fee barely covers the cost of keeping the lights on. The real profit comes from everything Kevin sells on top of it. Personal training, group classes, protein shakes at the counter, nutrition coaching, specialized programs. Watch what happens with the numbers. A basic membership at $1,500 leaves Kevin a thin margin after rent and electricity. But personal training is an entirely different business, hiding inside the same 4 walls. Say Kevin charges $500 a month for a personal training package. The trainer costs him roughly $200. That's $300 of pure profit from one client in space he's already paying rent for anyway. Now scale it. If just 15% of his 500 members upgrade to training or coaching, that's 75 people generating several times more profit per head than the basic membership ever could. This is exactly why every well-run gym pushes you to upgrade. You walk in for a basic membership, and by the time you leave, someone's offering a free trial session with a trainer, or a beginner's transformation package, or a shake subscription. It's not sleazy, it's survival. There's a saying in this industry: the membership pays the rent, the upsells pay the owner. That's also why gym layout is never random. The supplement counter sits right by the entrance or exit, the exact moment you're most likely to buy on impulse. Trainers approach new members within their first week because that's when motivation is highest and yes is easiest. But here's where new owners like Kevin trip up. They see personal training working and think, great, let me hire 10 more trainers and push packages on everyone. That instinct is exactly what quietly kills a lot of gyms in their first 2 years, because underneath all of this sits the part of the business nobody talks about at the opening day ribbon cutting: the costs that never take a day off. Here's what it costs Kevin to simply keep the doors open, whether 5 people walk in that day or 500. Rent for a large enough floor space, equipment, treadmills, racks, benches, often several lakhs just to set up, and it keeps breaking down after that. Staff, trainers, front desk, cleaners, a manager, all needed even during the dead hours. Electricity, especially air conditioning running non-stop over a room full of sweating people. Here's the trap: almost every one of these costs is fixed. Rent doesn't drop when membership dips. The AC bill doesn't care that it's a slow month. Staff still needs paying whether the gym is buzzing or half empty, which means Kevin's gym has a break-even point, a minimum number of paying members he needs every month, before he earns a single dollar of real profit. And this is exactly where churn turns dangerous. A new gym opens nearby. Marketing slows down for a quarter. The economy tightens and people cut discretionary spending. Kevin's numbers can slide below that break-even line fast. And from the outside, nothing even looks wrong yet. Add seasonality on top. January is huge, but February through May often brings a steep drop as resolution members quietly stop showing up and cancel. A smart owner has to plan an entire year of cash flow and staffing around these waves, or get blindsided by a quiet season landing right when a big loan payment is due. And there's one more cost almost nobody accounts for early. It's far more expensive to constantly chase new members than to keep the ones you already have. But retention isn't free either. It requires clean equipment, engaged trainers, fresh classes, a genuinely good atmosphere, all of which cost time and money to maintain, month after month. Put it together: memberships that leak away by design, upsells that carry the real profit, and a mountain of fixed costs underneath both, quietly deciding whether the whole thing survives. This is exactly why the fitness industry has one of the highest failure rates of any small business category. Owners walk in expecting steady, passive income. What they actually get is a business demanding constant new member acquisition, careful retention, and tight cost control, with almost no room for a slow quarter. There's one more shift happening right now that Kevin needs to understand before he signs any lease. The shift. Nobody's ready for fast forward. Fast forward Kevin's story a few years. 2 things have reshaped this industry: ultra-low-cost gym chains, offering memberships at a fraction of the price with a stripped-down, no-frills setup, and home workouts, YouTube, fitness apps, affordable equipment, letting people train without ever walking into a gym. On the surface, this looks like bad news for someone like Kevin. Why pay full price when you can train at home for free or join a budget chain for half the cost? Here's what's actually happened. The market didn't shrink, it split in two. On one side, budget gyms compete purely on price and volume, lean staffing, huge member counts, thin margins by design. On the other side, the gyms that thrive lean hard into what an app or a cheap chain simply can't offer: real community, expert coaching, quality equipment, group classes with genuine energy, a place people actually want to belong to. Smart owners today aren't trying to out-cheap the budget chains. Because a gym membership was never really about convenience, a living room is more convenient than any gym will ever be. What a great gym sells now is motivation, community, and expertise. Things a YouTube video genuinely struggles to replace. Which brings us to the real truth hiding underneath this entire business. A gym was never really in the equipment business. It's always been in the motivation business. The treadmills were just the excuse to get people into the room. Should Kevin do it? Back to Kevin, standing in front of that empty commercial space, picturing rows of treadmills and a packed evening crowd. Should he go for it? Here's the honest answer. This is not a lazy, passive income stream. It demands serious upfront capital, a constant, ongoing hustle to bring in new members, because a slice will always be walking out the back door. A real strategy to sell more than basic access, training, classes, coaching that actually drive the profit. And a clear answer to why someone should choose him over a cheap chain or a free app. Treat it like sign people up and collect fees, and he's almost guaranteed to struggle, because basic memberships alone barely cover the fixed costs. Treat it like I'm building a community that happens to have great equipment, constantly recruiting, upselling thoughtfully, keeping costs disciplined, creating a place people actually want to be, and this can become a genuinely strong long-term business. Maybe not a fortune in year one, but something that compounds, quarter after quarter. For someone willing to run it like the numbers game, it really is. So here's the real economics of owning a gym, in one line. It's not a fitness business. It's a business that survives on the members who don't show up and gets rich on the ones who buy more than they came for. Next time you walk into your gym, look around differently. Notice the trainer starting a conversation with you in week 1. Notice the supplement counter right by the exit. Notice how empty the place feels at 11 a.m. compared to 6 p.m. Now you know exactly what business is really happening in that room. If this changed how you look at your own gym membership, you're going to enjoy the next one. Subscribe if you want more of these, and I'll see you in the next one.